The root of all excellence.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Root of All Excellence.
Welcome.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
How was your week?
My week was pretty good, kind of working the weekends and
Busy?
yeah, so it's gonna be a while before I kind of have a day off. But yeah, I thought I would be more tired because of it.
Mm-hmm.
Not that bad, man. Walking through it, it's not really affecting me at all.
Not yet.
Nah, not yet at least. So
That's good. Taking it easy, I guess.
yeah, so this week was pretty, pretty laid back,
Mm-hmm.
I would say. Yeah. I just been enjoying it. I thought that this weekend would definitely like kill me, but I know that I could possibly just keep going, It's
Right.
not really affecting me.
Right. Okay.
What about your week?
It went by pretty fast. These days are going by really fast. So you know how the Halloween costume I'm supposed to be making
Yeah.
for day.
Yeah.
And it's creeping up on me.
Yeah. Like finna be Halloween pretty soon here.
Yeah. So I gotta get to it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll probably go to the store tomorrow.
All right.
Mm-hmm. But other than that, it's been pretty good. No complaints.
Nah?
No, just went by really fast.
Yeah.
I feel like faster than I wanted to. Like even the weekend.
Yeah. The weekend is going like really fast.
Yeah,
So I guess we gotta enjoy it while we can.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. Just looking forward to Halloween coming up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hopefully we could like pass out candy this Halloween.
Yeah, I think we'll have visitors.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah, we get to wear a mask, scare a couple kids.
Uh-huh. So last year we had mask,
Right.
candy,
No visitors.
no visitors.
Nobody came. We was salty, man. Nobody came, man. We was like all prepared. We had like the candy in a bowl that we ended up eating because we had no visitors.
All right. There's still some up there.
Oh yeah. So hopefully this year, since we moved, we will have visitors and we'll be able to, kind of throw on our masks and answer the door with scary mask on and really, kind of have fun with it.
Yeah, I think so. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll be a good time.
Yeah.
All right. So for our topic today, looking at kids.
Okay.
So there was a article that you had sent me
Right.
that's just a bit disturbing and kind of
Oh man. It really kind of, I don't know, like touched me in a way.
yeah. It makes I guess it makes you wonder like
Right.
about trusting people. So basically, what the article was about. So there was a 8-year-old kid in Arkansas that he was burnt on 80% of his body. So he
80%.
went to visit his friend, stayed over the night at his house, or they were supposed to, because he was supposed to go to amusement park the next day.
Right.
So exciting time, go to sleepover, then go to the amusement park, have a great time with your
Right,
friend.
right. We've all kind of done something like that or another.
Or wanted to.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely.
I wasn't allowed to sleep over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So sleep over, go to the amusement park the next day, have fun with your friend. But what ended up happening is he got severe burns across 80% of his body.
Oh, man.
They didn't call 911.
Right.
The way that the family found out was that the little boy called and hung up.
So
I want to say the boy that got burnt.
So he's 80% burnt. He still was able to like call his. That's what was tripped out to me. Like he was still able to call his dad, right?
Right. So the parents stated that the son called them and hung up.
Right.
And then when the dad called the boy back,
Right.
he heard his son screaming
In the background.
in the background.
Wow, man.
So I don't know who answered the phone or any of that, but
Yeah.
I could only imagine like
Right.
that feeling.
Okay.
So
Man.
the parents rushed over to the house,
Mhm.
and he was covered in Vaseline and plastic wrap.
Yeah, that's something that like if it's 80% of the body, why wouldn't you just take them to the hospital or call the ambulance?
Right.
Right?
Right.
What?
Something.
Right.
Not Vaseline. Please do not put Vaseline if it's that
And not
severe of a
plastic
burn.
wrap. What the fuck is that?
Right. If it's that severe of a burn, please do not put Vaseline in plastic wrap.
It's just, man.
Terrible.
So if I'm not mistaken, the kid is probably like still in the hospital?
Yeah, he's still in the hospital.
And this happened in August.
Yes. And nothing has happened in terms of the investigation.
So wait, all right. So let me just get this straight. Kid goes over his friend's house, burned 80% of his body. They didn't call the ambulance or nothing.
No. Didn't even call the parents.
And it's no investigation?
The investigation has turned up nothing. So nothing has resulted from the investigation.
All right. So, it just seemed a little weird, all of this. So I gotta hit the button on them.
Okay.
What the fuck going on?
My conspiracy is tingling.
So, all right. Let me just say this. A kid goes over his friend's house and he ends up with 80% of his body burned, and he's currently still in the hospital from being burned 2 months ago.
All right, on August 9th
August
is
9th.
when this took place.
So 2 months ago and some change, right?
So kidney failure, sepsis,
right,
and brain damage.
So just imagine what kind of burns these were.
Right.
Right? How fucking stupid of an adult do you have to be to watch a kid burn like this? Number one, put Vaseline and plastic wrap on the kid. But number two, not call anybody.
Right.
Not call anybody. Right? In reality, if anybody was doing their job, they'd be investigating what kind of parents they are to their kid. Right?
Right.
Because if somebody can come over your house and end up in this condition and you didn't call the police or the ambulance or anything.
Right, for help.
I don't know what kind of adult you is, let alone a parent.
Right.
Right? I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but since I pushed the button, I'm going to mention it. These were white people. Right?
The family he went to visit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I know that sometimes I could stretch things a bit, right?
Right.
And I'm going to do that right here. Okay. So, I believe that it has to be on a little on purpose. At the slightest bit.
I don't know that it would be on purpose.
How do you not take any kind of, like, what do you, like, you don't call anybody? The boy has been in the hospital to the point where he has kidney failure and brain damage.
Right.
What have he, like, you watched him suffer this.
Right.
And did nothing. Even if I was guilty.
Right. They put Vaseline.
Come on. Put Vaseline. And then the crazy, you put Vaseline on it. What kind of, he's like a super nigga. We must be super niggas if you think Vaseline and then the boy turns out to have like kidney failure and brain damage based on the burns, several surgeries. Right? This is just crazy.
It is.
And I'm to believe that none of this was on purpose. And not even to mention that there was no investigation.
Well, I think there was an investigation, but it didn't result in anything.
And how does it not result in anything?
So,
if anything, charge him with neglect. If anything.
Yeah, I could see that.
Something,
Right.
right?
Right.
Anytime
but I don't know if it's not your child.
He's in your care. He was left in your
Right.
care.
Your responsibility.
Right.
But I don't know how the charges would work for that.
I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure there's something on the books that you could charge a person.
Well, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I just feel like for a kid to come and be in my care
Mm-hmm.
and something like this happens to him,
Right.
right? The first thing I'm going to do is try to save his life,
Right.
right? I'm to believe that if maybe the parents didn't come, he probably wouldn't have made it. He probably wouldn't have made it this far,
No.
right? And we don't know what kind of long-term effects all of this will have on him. But he definitely wouldn't have made it this far.
Right.
Right? They'd have been picking up a corpse. Right?
Yeah.
All because people are negligent.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So a part of me feels like some of this had to be on purpose. Right? That's number one. Number two is, what kind of parents did this young man have? Because I'm not sure what kind of relationship like the parents had,
Mm-hmm.
but I would think that you would know the type of people that would put Vaseline and plastic on the burn.
But I don't know that you know that, like, in a situation where it's not common. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like this is a common situation where you have your kid go over their house and they get burned.
Right.
And nothing happens. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I don't know that you would know off top, like, well, in this emergency situation, they're going to do this.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that like you would expect them to do. But what I'm saying is their reaction to this was so fucking dumb.
Right.
That you know these are dumb people.
Well, maybe they didn't realize how bad the burns were. Like, I just can't imagine, like, why you would do that.
Yo. All I know is the parents of the child who got burned,
Mm-hmm.
right? If you don't know that you sending your child
Mm-hmm.
to not one adult, two adults, right? I mean, even if the man didn't know what to do, it bounced to the woman, and she was. So they came up with the dumbass plan in unison,
Right.
right? You don't know that these are the type of people.
But you really never know.
You don't. But I'm gonna say this: he's burned over 80% of his body. Think about that. Just think about that. He's been in the hospital for 2 months based on these burns. Had several surgeries, kidney failure, brain damage. What does his clothes look like? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To have that type of effect, what do your clothes look like?
Right.
What do your body look like?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they put Vaseline on it and plastic wrap. Now, the parents of, like I said, the parents of the child who got burned, if they don't know that these are the type of people, because their reaction to it is so dumb that you had to know. You have to know.
But I don't think that's the case.
And that may be right. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I may be reaching.
Yeah, I think you are. I
may be reaching.
I think because 2020, hindsight is 2020, right?
Yeah.
So
I was trying to say 2020 is hindsight.
2020 is hindsight. No, hindsight is 2020. So we could look at the situation and be like, this should have happened, this should have happened, this should have happened.
Right.
But it's so common for people to be sending their kids to go to sleepovers.
Right.
Not thinking that anything like this is going to happen, right?
Absolutely.
You don't think about, does this person have first aid, basic knowledge?
No. This is beyond that, though. Come on now.
Basic first aid knowledge.
This is beyond that. I would think. At the bare minimum, get on the phone and call 911. Right. Everybody's been taught that.
Right.
That's but the bare minimum.
Then you also have like certain areas where it costs money for them to come.
For who to come?
The 911 response.
It's okay. So certain areas, it costs money in order for them to respond to a 911 call.
Right. But I'm not sure if this is the case, but I know that there's a hesitation in some areas to call.
Now, I think this was like down south somewhere.
Is it Arkansas?
Right. I don't think it's like that down there.
Even here, they have some counties where you have to pay.
Right. But I would think people in those counties could afford it. Otherwise, you just wouldn't live there.
It was rural.
Word.
Yeah.
Okay.
So not necessarily like.
It might just too far out.
Right.
Okay, I get it.
Or like they just don't have the city. It's a county response instead of a city response.
Right.
So I think some people are hesitant about calling an ambulance, right?
Right.
But when it's this bad, you got to call somebody.
That's what I'm saying. Like the parents, something.
Somebody.
Like
have your kid call the parents.
Somebody.
Have your kid call somebody.
Somebody. I just expect. I mean, I understand that things happen and people don't know how to react. Right.
Right.
And to be fair, like it could be traumatizing to them as well.
Right. But maybe they don't want to get in trouble, or maybe they don't want, you know what I mean? Like,
so you finna let them die because you don't want to get in trouble.
But they don't think it's that bad.
Man.
I think it just depends on the experience and the people that you're dealing with. So I'm saying like the parents aren't automatically going to know, oh, you're the type of person that's going to react like this in an emergency situation.
Right. No, I get it.
Because a lot of people panic.
Definitely.
And then just.
But come on, like, even though you're panicking, there's Vaseline and
plastic.
Come on.
Probably made it worse.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Like,
I could just imagine that.
Look, if I don't know, I'm just calling somebody who do. The bare minimum.
Yeah.
Right? Just the bare minimum. I just expect you to know the bare minimum.
Right.
Right? And they didn't do that.
They did not.
And mind you, they didn't do it and it wasn't suspicious to the police. So let me just finish my little conspiracy theory.
Sorry.
So I don't think that like all white people are racist. I don't think that all white people are racist, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is, so I do feel like some white people are racist and they'll just let something like this happen, right? But I don't feel like this was the case. But the problem is, even though maybe they didn't intend for this young man to be harmed, right?
Right.
An accident like this can occur in your presence, two grown adults, and nothing happened to you.
Right.
You can completely say pretty much like, hey, listen, man, I understand that he burned, but fuck him.
Right. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. And that's that.
It was an accident.
Right. Now, these parents have to kind of worry about it, whether their child's going to make it or not. I don't know what kind of brain damage he have.
Right.
Right. What kind of kidney failure he has.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure that they're worried, like,
sick.
Yeah, come on. Right? And because there is a system that protects specifically non-black or anything else, I'm just going.
Black people?
Right.
Okay.
Something like this can happen right in front of you, right? You can completely dismiss it. You can completely be negligent and nothing happened to you. They're just going, oh yeah, I mean, you know. And that's that. Right? And just to make, you know, kind of the comparison, the same thing happened with Jeffrey Dahmer. Right? Something can completely be in your face.
Right.
And nothing, right? If they wouldn't have found those pictures, Jeffrey would be alive right now and walking around still probably doing the same thing. It took for them to actually see it, for them to believe that this was going on.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So it's my only thing, man. So just be careful out there on who you have your kids around, family or not. And
You just gotta be careful.
Yeah, man.
So this makes me like wonder, like, is he gonna be allowed to go to other people's houses for sleepovers?
Man, that shit is hard.
Yeah.
When you got, because this, honestly, right? So when I looked at the kid, it reminded me of our son, older, right? Sly, little swaggerlicious.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Cute kid.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it kind of like broke my heart a little bit. Right. That this kid had to go through this, and all he was doing was trying to, like hang out with his friend and
amusement park.
Right. And the adults around him that you would think is gonna at least think about your safety did nothing.
Failed him.
Right. So I mean, it kind of just broke my heart. Really. It
really is heartbreaking.
It's super heartbreaking. And I just couldn't,
Right.
And also, let me just say this, and then I'm done with my conspiracy theory rant. This is part of the reason why I'm so judgmental. Right? I judge everybody, everywhere, in every situation. And it's because I have to know who's around me. Right? So that I don't make mistakes that I have to pay for later. Because I should have known that this was that type of person. You understand what I'm saying?
But I really don't believe like you could know.
No, definitely. But I mean, I agree. You can't always know. Right. But at least let me try to figure it out. You know what I mean? I don't have a problem with like being wrong. Right. But I do have a problem with me not trying. Right. So I have to know like who's around me, what kind of person this is. You know what I mean? Before I make a mistake, because I'm pretty sure if you ask the parents, like, did you know these people? Did you take the time to kind of like know what kind of people? I guarantee you, they'll say we made a mistake and didn't really look into or, Right. So that's all.
Yeah. I mean, I get it, but I feel like you never really know. Like people are different when they're not comfortable at home.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's a different environment. It's a different persona that you kind of present out in public and like at the school, in front of other people's parents. You know what I mean?
Right.
I feel like you kind of just put on a mask.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
And just act like you have some sense.
Yeah. And it's just.
And then at home, you may not have sense.
Right.
Because you hear about all the horrible things people do at home.
Right.
So.
Yeah, you just never know, man.
I just think you never know. So I don't know if he's gonna be spending the night in too many places without me.
Yeah, like it's unfortunate, like what our society has become. When I hear stories like this, I go, "Come on, man."
What? I don't know if this is what our society's become. Like as a kid, I wasn't allowed to go to sleepovers.
Right. And I'm pretty sure it was like related to things like this or worse. Right. So yeah, I mean, I get it. It's just that, yeah, now we have to think about whether, that's a great idea or not.
Yeah.
And I was allowed to, I spend a week.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean? I'm never at the crib.
Maybe at grandma's house or something.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, like this is just an unfortunate situation.
It really is.
I was in my feelings about it, like real talk. Like I was in my feelings about it. 'Cause like I'm not responding the same. If this my kid,
right?
I'm not even. What we doing with, like, I'm not looking to go to the police. We gonna handle this shit broad daylight or not, and that's gonna be that.
Yeah, I mean,
there is no excuse for you to call and your son has 80% of his body burned.
Right, severely.
And nobody reached out for no kind of help at all.
From anybody.
And it's no kind of like pushback from I mean, you know, we're gonna investigate it, which is probably full of shit,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Nothing.
So yeah, my response wouldn't be the same. So
Yeah, well, I just really hope that the little boy pulls through.
definitely, and I'm gonna definitely be like trying my best to like get updates on like
How he's doing.
yeah, man, because this is just unfortunate, man. Also, let me just say this real quick, and then we done.
Okay.
All right, then we done with the topic. I feel like the news didn't cover this well. Right? It was one of those like, okay, we mentioned it, now bury it kind of things. So,
Yeah, I didn't hear about it on any mainstream news.
right. And mind you, this happened in August.
Right.
So, hey, man, just.
Yeah. But what I feel like has been covered is like the scary daycare workers.
Right. And it kind of went viral a little bit.
Yeah. So the daycare workers that did, was it Scream Mask?
I think so. It was some kind of scary mask,
I want to say
definitely.
it was Scream Mask. And they were scaring preschoolers that they worked. Well, they got fired. And then they got charged with felonies.
Yeah.
Felonies.
Like, I don't, felony abuse or something like that.
Child abuse?
Yeah, I think so. Like
I wanna
felony
say
child abuse.
Yeah. For scaring the kids. So I don't know that I would have went as far as the felony charge.
Right. How
For
did you
child.
feel about like when you first seen like because it's a clip, right?
Yeah, it is a clip of like them trying to like them actually scaring the little babies.
Right.
I really didn't feel anything.
No.
No, I really didn't feel like. I felt like it was like adults scaring kids.
Right.
Like, but I think they took it too far.
Like
For me, like, yeah. So like, okay, you have the idea for the mask,
right.
scare the kids, but then the scare was prolonged for too long.
Yeah, yeah. So for me, I just felt like number one, like why would you even be interested in this? Right? Like you at work.
Right.
Just work. You know what I'm saying? Like this extra stuff that they do with this like for no reason, right?
Right.
And you know it's not gonna end up like fun.
Well, I guess, yeah. I don't think they're little babies, so I
Right.
don't know that they have the capacity to not be
Right.
traumatized. You know what I mean?
Right.
To not like let it linger.
Right. And like looking at the clip is like you said, like it just they kind of went overboard with it.
Mhm.
Right. You can kind of tell like these are very immature adults, right? But at the same time, they kind of went overboard with it. I understand, like, you know, it's close to Halloween and, you know, people just, you know, kind of into the spooky, scary
Right.
kind of thing. But they just like, as the children are being like traumatized, you just kept going.
Right.
And I think that was the part where they was like, okay, we're going to charge them with felony abuse because obviously as an adult, you can see the type of effects it's having on these kids and you're just going to keep going.
Right. Yeah, I think like the lingering in the little kids' faces or like chasing them around the room.
Right.
Like all of like it was pretty long. Like I would imagine like you jump out, scare somebody, laugh, and then move on.
Right.
But
This was like just too much, man.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure still, like you said, the felony part of it.
yeah, I don't know if that's felony.
Yeah.
For me, like I don't feel like
Because you
this is-
scared the shit out of some little kids.
Yeah, you need a felony on your record.
But maybe they felt like, because it was like kind of like hard to just keep like watching for me.
It's uncomfortable.
Yeah, very uncomfortable. So maybe they felt like this was a form of like torture, right?
Maybe.
And to keep it real, I don't know what else is related to the charges, right? Because this could have been like multiple things as they do an investigation on what happened. It could have been multiple things that happened,
Maybe.
and they kind of, but
I feel like it was just this incident
that, yeah, me too.
and the parents were upset.
Definitely.
and they wanted a felony charge.
I don't know if it was up to the parents.
I mean, usually it's not up to the parents, but if you push hard enough and you have enough connections,
Maybe.
you get whatever
maybe,
you
maybe we can
want.
get it popping.
Right.
But I think because it was a tape related to it that kind of went viral.
Right.
Right.
And everybody can see it.
Right. So, yeah, you kind of, if you don't go as hard as you can, then you look weak.
That's true.
You know
I mean, but I do understand them getting fired, right? And I
Right.
do understand them maybe not being able to work in childcare again.
Ever again.
But I just don't, I don't know. I don't see going to jail for a prank gone bad.
Yeah, but I just expect, and you know, like kids is like everybody kind of soft spot.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Little
most
kids,
people.
little kids.
If you're normal.
Right.
Right. So, yeah, like to kind of see people like just treating them like that is kind of uncomfortable, and I think maybe that's what pushed it over the edge. It's just, I don't know. Like I said, I thought it was just very immature people.
Yeah. I think it was a joke that went too far.
Right.
Like we've seen a lot,
Right.
I feel like a lot this year.
Man, so sad, man, but they definitely got more than they bargained for.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if they're actually going to get convicted, right? Because they've been charged.
Right. I don't
so-
think, but you can be charged with a felony and not really do time.
Yeah. I mean, you can, but it's on your record and now you're a felon.
And I think that was the purpose of it.
I don't like it.
Yeah, okay. I mean, but I think that was the purpose of it, is to go, we're going to keep it on their record so that they can't like disappear and go to another state and be kind of in the same
Right.
field. So, hey.
I don't like it. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Because so far they were just charged and arrested, right?
Right. And what is next that we have here, Mariah?
Sticking with the theme of protect our babies.
Mm-hmm.
So since January of this year,
Right.
there have been 270 K-12 educators locked up on child sex crimes.
Like sex crimes, like what?
It ranges from grooming to rape.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Grooming to rape.
Mm-hmm. The range
The range.
of the
Right.
sex. Right.
Okay. I mean, like when you first heard that, what was the first thing you thought? Because maybe I might be again on some stretch Armstrong reaching, but how did you feel?
Like, I just don't understand. I think I just can't wrap my head around what it is about these babies that these adults are interested in. Now, granted, there are the pedophiles that are specifically interested in little kids. Right. So keeping that in mind, where you're specifically interested in a little kid, I feel like that's not, I hope, in my mind, I feel like it's not as common as I think, as this is making it seem. But it's making it seem like this is actually more common than I want to admit.
Right. Okay.
And it's scary.
Yeah, it's definitely scary. I agree. Definitely scary.
But it's everywhere.
Right.
Like, even at school, like, you can't even go to school.
Right.
Kids can't even go to school
Right.
and be safe and not have to worry about, I mean, first you got the shooters, right? You got to worry about the active shooters coming to the school.
Yeah.
You got to worry about your teacher being gross.
Yeah.
You got to worry about your classmates being gross. You just got so much to worry about as a kid, and I just think it's too much.
Yeah, I agree, man. It's just, but I gotta.
My conspiracy is tingling.
All right, so in my opinion, I believe there are more pedophiles than we realize that's in just everyday life. Right? Now some may, suppress the urge. Right?
Right.
But for the most part, I think that there's way more pedophiles than we actually give like credit. So think about this. That's the ones they caught
Right. And got arrested.
Now, mind you, it might be 270 schools in one state.
Yeah.
K to 12?
Yeah.
One state, right? Imagine throughout all 50 states, all these schools,
Right.
right? I would guarantee you, I don't know the numbers, but I would guarantee you at every school it's at least one.
Pedophile.
At least one. Right? What blew my mind is when they came out with the show To Catch a Predator, and the consistency of the show. Like, you would think like
Right.
the show has been on for 2 weeks. Everybody knows about it. No more people going to show up. No, like they just kept on showing up.
Right.
And it was so bold that like they had repeat people.
Right.
Like, you got caught last week, here you come again this week, right? This is a sickness that we gotta face that is here. Right?
Yeah.
I think when you say that kids have a lot to worry about, definitely. Right? But also I believe that pedophiles are becoming more comfortable.
Something's going on because
Pedophiles are becoming more comfortable.
I feel like when I was growing up, like, yeah, they were there, but
Yeah.
it wasn't like, not like this.
Yeah, to the point with like teachers.
You hear about the one teacher,
Right, that's what I'm saying.
and it was like national news. Like
Right.
the teacher messed around with this little boy and got arrested.
Yeah, some teacher then fuck the 15-year-old.
Right. And so I don't know about what's going on now. Like,
But it just seemed like they're more comfortable.
something's
right.
going on.
It's another one of my conspiracies. I'm gonna go ahead and share it because why not? I believe in 30 years, it's gonna be laws to protect pedophiles. Right? Now, some people out there may be saying, here go Max again with his conspiracy theories. He tripping, right? But 30 years ago, if I would have told you that you can give a 12-year-old like hormones to like be whatever sex they want, you'd have thought I was crazy then too.
Right.
And we here,
Right.
right? If I would have told you that if I'd have told you 30 years ago that if you don't call a person by their pronouns, it could be assault in some states, right?
Is it?
Yeah, you could be charged with assault for doing that. Right?
Okay.
You'd have thought I was crazy too. But yet we are here. Right?
Right.
So let me just say, in 30 years, I think that it's going to be laws that protect pedophiles.
I hope not.
I mean, we can hope, but
I really hope not, because I really feel like we got to protect these kids. And as much as we like to think that they are mature and they can make decisions and they can have their choices, right?
Yeah.
I don't feel like they're able to make these types of choices just yet.
Right.
Like, you can't drink until you're 21.
Right.
You're not supposed to get a tattoo till you're 18, but
Right.
you know,
You can't go to the army unless you're 18. Or your
Right.
parents sign off at 17 after high school.
So I feel like we have all these rules and restrictions to where you're not able to make these decisions and these choices.
Right.
I think they just need to be protected.
But also, you got to understand that these laws that we have related to drinking, related to tattoos and smoking, and it's old.
Yeah, they're old.
They're old. They're back when.
Right, but the reason behind the laws, right, is because the maturity level isn't there, right? The brain development isn't there.
Right.
So to have these kids not be protected in the same way, right?
And this is some of the reasons why I believe that in 30 years, maybe even sooner, actually, that it's going to be laws to protect pedophiles, right? Only because right now, we heard about the guy in Canada. Like his son or his daughter wanted to be another sex. They wanted to get the hormone pills. He said no. Threw him in jail.
Right.
They already taking your rights as a parent away.
Right.
Right?
I do see that. I don't know what the rights as, a kid, you're not really responsible for nothing.
Right.
Like,
right now,
yeah.
you could, like, if my son wants to be a girl and he goes to school, they can call him her and not even talk to me about it.
Right.
They already taking parents like rights away.
Right.
Right. So I'm just saying, like, I see where this thing is going.
But I don't know that that's the right direction, right?
Okay.
Because you see the changes that are happening
As far as
in far as the parental
control.
being like diminishing.
Right.
But you also see the behavior of kids being unacceptable too. So you want kids to act a certain way and behave a certain way, right?
Right.
But their parents have no control
Right.
to make sure that they have these consequences or the structure.
But that's part of I think that's part of the plan, right? It's the number one, remove the parent from like controlling the situation, right? But not all the way, because if you don't feed them, then you go to jail.
Right.
So I don't think they want it all the way. They're just going to remove some of the rights that you have.
Yeah, I just don't understand it. Like, because if your kid goes into a store and breaks everything, you're responsible for it.
Right.
You are the one that is responsible for this kid and the kid's decision.
Definitely.
Whether they're good or bad.
Definitely.
So for you to take away and say like, oh no, they're able to make a decision, then I don't need to be responsible for anything.
But they're not going to do that.
I know, but that's my point. Like,
They're just going to bend it.
it just doesn't make any sense.
They're going to bend it enough to where a 38-year-old can walk up and grab your child's hand or something.
I don't know if they're bending in enough for that.
I'm telling you, man. You know what I'm saying?
But I do see where it's starting to shift to where
Yeah.
they're trying to give kids more rights or more decision-making
Right.
opportunities. But
Check this out. Just think about this. We had a past show where we talked about the young lady who took her parents to court
right.
for not asking her permission to have her.
Right.
The fact that shit even made it in the court, understand that all logic is out the window.
Right.
Right? All logic is out the window.
Yeah, not only that it made it to court, but it was
like she won.
She won the
They
case.
had to peel it.
Right.
Just so it could be like, come on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So all logic when it comes to, I'm telling you.
But I just think it's gonna backfire and it's gonna create
Look,
more trouble than they realize, because they're also doing away with a lot of the abortion opportunities, right?
right,
So you're going to have a lot of these kids that don't have parents that want them,
right.
right? Didn't want you. Wish I could have aborted you, right? And the treatment that they're going to receive. But
Nah.
then they're going to have rights.
Now think about that.
Right.
Think about, just put everything together. You're gonna have parents who have kids that they necessarily didn't want to take care of,
Right.
but a grown man gonna come along and say, "Hey, I do it."
But you have that all the time. Foster care. You know what I mean?
I'm just thinking about like where this thing might can go. I don't understand how in the school that is happening, right?
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere, yeah. And mind you, if it's in the school and it's this much, I mean, it's literally everywhere.
Everywhere.
So if it's everywhere, what makes you think they're not going to put a law on the books to protect these?
I just don't see what the law is going to be. What is the law going to be?
I'm not too sure, man, to be honest. I can't imagine it either.
Because they already have laws, right? Where if your parents give you consent, you can get married. At
Right.
Like,
You get
what,
like 14 or something.
12 or something.
Yeah, something goofy.
Depending on the state that you're in.
Right.
But as a minor, you can get married to a 40-year-old man if your parents say it's okay.
Right.
So I feel like that's already in the books.
Already. And you know why it's in the books? Pedophilia ain't new.
It's not new, but...
Right? Pedophilia ain't new. Look at the Mormon people.
Right.
Motherfucker had 36 wives.
Right.
30 of them is under the age of 15. Like, this pedophilia shit ain't new.
Right.
And it's only they already have organizations for pedophilia.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's not new, and I know it's more common than I want to admit, right?
Right.
Because you have a whole, I mean, the Jeffrey Epstein thing.
Right.
It was like a whole...
Mind you, yeah.
Of the highest leaders.
And check this out. I just need you, let's just mention this real quick. They gave her 20 years, right?
Right.
You can get that shit for having 5 keys of cocaine. You ran a for real whole ring of this shit.
Right.
Which was human trafficking. Internationally human trafficking. Right? You supposed to get life. Right?
I think if it wasn't the highest of the highest leaders, she may have.
And that's my point. The fact that the highest of the highest leaders, right, is participating in this, you know they finna make laws on the book.
But I wonder why they don't have them already.
I just don't think it's time yet. I think that you can't. It's so taboo to most Americans that think about if they was to do something like that, we might rebel, right? It's the same reason why right now, right? Gas is like $6 somewhere,
right?
But it didn't just go to $6.
Right.
It didn't just jump like from $2.50 and then tomorrow $6.
Right.
Right. It slowly $2.75, $3, $3.25, $3.75. You know what I mean? Until it got to $6. Why? Because I think that the American people could appreciate that better than you just turning the switch.
Right.
You turning the switch, it send people into shock.
Right.
Right? You send people into shock, they're going to react that way.
Right.
Right? So this is the only reason we don't have it on the books right now, because it's still taboo to most Americans. So if you just flip the switch, people may like literally like
lose it
and just take it to DC. You see what they did over Trump? You know what I mean? So that's the only reason I feel like we don't have it on the books now. So what they have to do is, just like everything else, right? it wasn't just we gonna turn the switch and gay people can get married. It was a slow introduction into this lifestyle. We'll give you a little bit here, a little bit here, and walk you all the way until bam, right? And the same thing I think is gonna happen, and this is the reason why I said 30 years from now. Because they kind of walk you to it. And it may not be 30 years, it may be 15, 10.
Well, I really hope not. I really hope this isn't a thing.
Right.
I really hope that.
And I can agree, man. I mean, even though, it's part of my conspiracy theory, but I hope that, my conspiracy never come true. You know what I mean? But it's just what it's looking like.
Yeah. So this week also, a friend sent me, staying on the topic of protect our kids.
Right.
A friend sent me a article. So it's about Arizona. I don't know what he's running for, but he's on the ballot.
He's on the ballot.
In Arizona. He got arrested for masturbating near preschool. Okay. Wow. In his truck. Man. He was in his truck masturbating, but it was near preschool.
Right. Now, kind of got to play devil's advocate, right? Right. It's possible that my man was just in his car beating his meat and just happened to be by preschool.
It's possible.
Possible, right?
Yes.
It's also possible that this nigga is a pedophile.
It is.
I just think, how did you feel when you first heard about that?
I don't know how I feel. I think I just didn't have enough information. Like, what was the thought process? What was going on in his head? Like, if he was like right in front of the preschool, I feel like it would be more concerning, right? Yeah. Because then there's that connection. Right. Right in front of the preschool, masturbating. You're masturbating in front of, like, you know what I mean? Right. For the preschool. But if it's near the preschool, like maybe he lived in the area and he had to get out the house for whatever reason, but then it just happened to be a preschool down the street. Yeah. Then, okay. But nonetheless, it's too questionable and I don't like it.
Right. So, kind of got to give him the benefit of the doubt. Why? Right. But any grown ass man beating his meat in his car, you have a home.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It is weird.
It's just weird to be beating your meat outside.
Right.
And so, yeah, I mean, I understand, like, and I don't know what near a preschool mean.
Yeah, it just says near preschool.
Right. And that's the like, I got to kind of give him the benefit of the doubt because I don't know what near a preschool is. But he's probably a pedophile.
Maybe. Because so he's running for college district board.
College district board?
Yeah. Arizona College District's governing board.
Okay.
He was arrested and charged of public sexual indecency.
Right.
After being caught in his truck.
Do they say his name?
His name is Kaufman. Randy Kaufman. Mm-hmm. So Randy Kaufman got caught.
Man.
And then his response was he fucked up.
Oh, yeah. If he say that, then...
Yeah, he said I fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah, you was probably like beating your meat to little kids walking into school.
I don't know that he was that close.
What do you mean?
Yeah, so Kaufman appeared to be looking at his cell phone in one hand.
Oh, so he was...
when he got caught with his pants down.
Right.
Yeah.
So he was on some like...
I really think he was just trying to leave the house.
And beat his meat real quick.
Right. And then... and go from there.
Right. But you just happen to live by a preschool.
Yeah.
And it doesn't state where he was at, right? But I'm going to go ahead and say he's definitely a pedophile.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know, but I
I would err on the side of caution.
Me
right?
too. Me
Like,
too. I mean, I want to feel like I'm joking, but I mean, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Right.
Any dude that'll beat your meat outside real quick
With your phone.
with your phone. You have a crib, bro.
You have a crib.
You can't like go in the bathroom real quick at your crib, fam. If you needed to beat your meat that bad, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can go in the basement real quick, bro. Beat your meat in the garage or something, bro. You had to go in your whip around the corner beat your meat.
Wherever he was at.
I mean, knock it off. I mean, maybe he's not a pedophile. Let me just, kind of pull it back, walk this thing back a bit. Maybe he's not a pedophile, but he's definitely fucking weird.
He's weird, but I mean, I don't want him to be a part of the board of anything.
Right. Anybody who would get caught beating your meat outside, I don't know if you deserve to even get any votes.
Well, the problem is that they can't take him off the ballot now because it's too late because the election is right around the corner.
So it's possible that
he's still gonna get votes.
Votes get put on. He win whatever he's running for.
Yeah.
And now he just the nigga who beat his meat is now on the board or whatever.
That's so embarrassing.
It's super embarrassing as an adult.
Yeah.
Right? And I would think that he's probably middle-aged or something.
Yeah, he's not young.
Right. So to be 47 years old or older in your motherfucking car,
And that guy.
beating your meat, bro. It's just, come on, man. And that's the reason why I go, hey, maybe he's definitely a pedophile, because anybody weird enough to do that, I'm not sure that you wouldn't take it further.
I don't know.
So
I don't know if this meets the classifications, right?
of a pedophile.
Right.
Maybe I'm just want to call people pedophiles because we just got through talking about a lot of pedophiles, right? We know that there's more out there, right? We know that it's just based on Jeffrey Epstein that a lot of them in high places, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a lot of pedophiles.
They just go to different countries.
Right. And there's a lot of pedophiles out here.
There's a lot.
And so I just want to call him a pedophile, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, you just want them in the category.
Yeah, I just want him in the, go ahead and throw him in. Well, why not?
Well, I can say we don't know if that was even a part of it.
I agree. We definitely do not know.
But
for
the
sure.
fact that it was even a question, let's just say that it was inappropriate and it was the wrong place.
Definitely.
So.
And mind you, in the state of Arizona, those things are kind of taken serious.
As they should be.
No, definitely they should be taken serious. But even if you get caught urinating outside, right, with nobody around, you could be charged with a sex crime.
Yeah.
So stuff like that, exposing yourself, is taken very seriously out here.
As it should be. Yeah, you got to be careful.
Got to be careful, man.
Yeah, end up on the sex offender list.
Right. You got to register because you had to piss real bad.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, man. Just we got to protect our kids. We got to do everything we can, man, And those of us who are like-minded must come together and come up with a plan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We should definitely have a Protect Your Kids coalition when we meet monthly or something.
I don't know.
That's too far?
Yeah, I don't know if we're meeting
Okay.
monthly.
Well, maybe that's too far.
It should be a basic understanding, but
it should be, but obviously
not.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Our kids got to worry about getting murdered at school, and now you got to worry about the staff members,
teachers, principals, assistant principals,
all kind of stuff,
teacher aides.
That's what I'm saying. It's ridiculous. So I think that as a community, we do have the responsibility to know what's going on.
Yeah.
Right. And do everything we can to kind of protect things like this from happening to our kids, And you just gotta be careful, man. Gotta be careful.
Yeah. And I think it's important also to be able to communicate with your kids, because things could be happening, but they may not feel comfortable telling you or whatever it may be. So
Right.
I think that's another piece of it.
Yeah, definitely. Kind of build that relationship so that they do tell you.
Yeah, tell you everything.
Right. So, all right, man, we're going to get on up out of here. I want to thank everybody for listening to us. I know sometimes I go overboard, but it's part of who I am. We're going to be all right.
Yes, thank you for listening. Thanks for joining us today. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter at ROAE_podcast. Check out our videos, respond to our videos, let us know what you think about this topic. Should kids be able to sleep over? Like, I feel like that should be the discussion that we have.
Okay.
Is it allowed? Is it not allowed?
Right. And as always, mental health is real. Self-care is important. We up out of here.
Bye.